beautiful herb potatoes. Let's see. Salutations and welcome to the farm and welcome back to the Farmhouse Kitchen. It's the holiday season and it's time to make up some of our favorite dishes here on the farm. So Papa Jim is having a Friendsgiving tomorrow at work, and he has requested one of our family's all-time favorite side dishes that I make for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that is my herb-infused potatoes. So I'm going to bring the camera down a little bit so you can see what's going on, and let's make something for Papa Jim and his co-workers. Let's get started. You're going to love this recipe. Mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving and at Christmas will become a thing of the past. I promise you there's never any leftovers, and I don't care how much I never make enough. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing that we want to do for our herb infused potatoes is we're going to get a small saucepan with a sieve. You want a nice sieve that's just going to fit right down into your saucepan. And to this sieve, we're going to add all of our herbs and we're going to infuse it in our cream. When you're preparing your sides during the holidays or any time of the year, it's really nice if you have fresh herbs. Now here in where I live in zone 5B, all of my herbs are done for this season. I don't have any growing inside, so I did have to go down to the market and I got some of these Mariposa Farms fresh herbs. You can find them in the produce department. This is what you'd like to utilize. Now, if you can't find everything you need, it's okay to use some dried herbs. And even if you don't have the dried whole herbs, you can throw in a little bit of the ground herbs. So earlier, I took some thyme and rosemary that I was able to find at my local market. That's all I was able to find that was fresh. And I rinsed them. I've got them here in my strainer. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take just, some leaves of thyme, some sprigs of rosemary, and I'm just going to put them in my sieve here. I don't have anything in my saucepan yet. So we have rosemary, thyme. We need a little bit of sage. I don't have any whole sage or any fresh sage, so I've just got a little, what do I have here, 1/4 teaspoon. Sage is very potent, so be careful. I'm not even filling it up. Maybe just 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm just going to go throw on top of there. And the same goes for the marjoram. You want some marjoram, not margarine, marjoram seasoning. And again, just a little, maybe about 1/8 of a teaspoon there. Put that in. And that's it for our spices. Sage, marjoram, thyme, and rosemary go into your little sieve to infuse. I lied. I forgot the bay leaves. I'm going to take just 2 bay leaves. I'm going to pop them in there. And we want 2 cloves of garlic. Go ahead and just kind of smack your garlic, kind of flatten it out a little bit. It helps remove the paper on the outside. This one needs a little extra smack. There we go. Just really give them a really nice smash so they infuse well into your cream. You don't have to mince them or cut them or anything. Just give them a nice smash. Throw them in your sieve. There we go. And these papers I'll put aside for later, and I'll put them in my stuff for my veggie broth. Okay, to our saucepan, we're going to add some heavy cream. 2 cups of heavy cream. I might be doubling this up because I'm going to make some for Papa Jim, and I'm going to make some for when we go over to our son's for Thanksgiving in a couple of days. So I'm just going to pour this into my saucepan. Now what you may find is your herbs are not down into your cream, and this is why I'm doing a double batch. Do a double batch, doesn't hurt. Buying the cream, you might as well step up and buy 2 of them, right? So I'm going to add another one here so that my herbs are down in the cream. Now our recipe also calls for a dash of nutmeg. I have some whole nutmeg that I was able to pick up out at the Amish store. If you can ever get a hold of a fresh nutmeg or 2, they're so delicious to use. I love them. And with just a little grater here, we're just going to grate maybe just a dash or a little more. Can't go wrong with nutmeg. Right into our cream. cut off the top of my head in this video. I need to back my camera up a little bit. This smells so good. Heavenly. Okay. Keep your nutmeg in the fridge. So these are going back in the fridge. I'm gonna adjust my camera. There we go. What's the sense in doing my hair if you can't see it, right? Okay, so we have all of our herbs and spices now in our cream. Give them a little bit of a stir here with the tip of my knife just so that the nutmeg and everything gets down into the cream. All of my herbs are infused here. Okay, I'm gonna place this on a cooktop on low heat. Low heat. You don't want to scald your cream. It's very important. Once your cream heats up, then you're just gonna let these infuse for 5-10 minutes, okay? Don't walk away. Don't scald your cream. Cream is so expensive, you don't want to risk losing this beautifully herb infused cream. So I'm gonna go place these on the stove and let this warm up, like I said, at a low heat. Okay, while the cream is getting infused with all of those beautiful herbs and spices, let's talk potatoes. Now, I've been making this recipe for over 20 years for my family, and like I said, it's requested every year. Depending on where you live will depend on what kind of potatoes you're able to find for this recipe. I highly recommend getting some little baby Yukon Golds. They're just really, really cute. And getting some baby red potatoes. In addition to that, you're going to want to see if you can get a hold of some fingerling potatoes or some purple Peruvian potatoes, because the more color you have in this dish, the more appealing it is. I was only able to find the Yukon Gold and the baby reds, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to add those to our baking dish while we're waiting for all of those herbs to infuse into the cream. Now, since this is going to be going to my husband's work, I'm not sending him with one of my good baking dishes. So I went to the Dollar Tree. You can get a really nice baking dish for $1.25. Now it's not $1 anymore. So I've already wiped this down on the inside with some butter, and I've got about 3 cups of potatoes already cut in. And so what you want to do with your potatoes is just quarter your potatoes. If they're a bigger potato, go ahead and give them another little cut. You want nice big chunks that people can get on their forks. Use my cup here because I want 4 cups total for this recipe. I just have the little baby Yukons because they're so little, but when I get a bigger one, I'll go ahead and quarter them. And the reds you usually have to quarter. The purple Peruvians are just absolutely beautiful, and the fingerlings will add some nice color as well. Don't worry if you can't find them. It's okay if you can't find them. You may need to go to a farmer's market before your holiday dish is being prepared, maybe to a Whole Foods or, oh goodness, I haven't been to one so long. What are they called? Oh, Trader Joe's. You may need to go to Trader Joe's. Something like that. But here we are with our babies. I'm going to just do one more red. And I'm going to go ahead and add these to our baking dish. So like I said, I've got all kinds of little potatoes already cut in here. The thing is you want a dish that has a wide base. You don't want to do this in a bread pan, because then you want the cream to go 3/4 of the way up over your potatoes. If you make your dish too deep, your cream's not going to come up to the level you need it at. So go ahead and just spread these potatoes around. If you can get a single layer, great. If not, that's okay too. And these potatoes are ready. Let's grab the cream. Okay, now one thing about this herb-infused cream is don't rush it. You've spent a lot of money for this heavy whipping cream. You've put a lot of money into these herbs. Don't rush it. Let them steep in the cream for 10-15 minutes. That's what these have done, thanks to the magic of editing. And just let them steep in there. And when they're done, you can lift the sieve out and place it in a bowl. Any cream that's going to drip off of those herbs, you can reclaim that later. But meanwhile, you've got a nice pot of herb-infused cream. It smells delicious. Your home is going to smell amazing. Now, what to do with all these herbs that you've purchased? You can still use these herbs. Put it in with your stock that you're going to use for your stuffing or your dressing. You can put it in that. There's lots of things you can use this for. So it's an investment though, so make sure you get as much use of it as you can. So with our cream now, with this beautiful, and you know what I forgot to tell you? You know what the benefit of the sieve is, as well as not only were we just able to lift all of our herbs out and put them in a bowl, but you won't have people picking pieces of thyme out of their teeth, because now we just have this beautiful, beautiful cream. We're going to take this cream. Ooh, let's move things over a little bit before I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me move these herbs out of the way, right over to here. Let's move our cream over. Once again, cutting the top of my head off. And here are our potatoes. So just take your herb-infused cream now. And you want 2 cups, because you put 4 cups in. And we're just going to just ladle this, so to speak, over our potatoes. Beautiful. One more. It's not quite full on this one, but you know what? It's going to do the job. These potatoes are about 3/4 of the way covered. Okay, now we've got our cream in here. I'm going to set the extra cream aside because I'm making 2 batches. Actually, I'm going to make 3. I'm going to make the batch to go with Jim tomorrow to work, the batch to take to my sons on Thanksgiving, and I'm going to make an extra little batch for dinner tonight because I have all of this beautiful cream. Don't let any of it go to waste. Okay. Slide this off to the side here. Take a whole stick of butter and cut it into little pats. Butter is so expensive these days. I hope you guys are watching the sales. Get your butter on sale when you can. Better yet, make it if you can. Okay, so we're just going to cut little pats, and we're going to dot the top of our dish here with these little pats of butter. Use the whole stick. Don't be bashful. Got my pinch pot here for some black pepper. I have coarse ground black pepper. Just going to give this a nice sprinkle over the top. Some nice black pepper. And some Himalayan sea salt, some pink Himalayan salt. Just a couple of pinches there. Now to top it off before you put it in the oven, you want to give yourself a nice layer of Parmesan cheese on top. Now this is entirely up to you what kind of Parmesan cheese you want to use. I've made it with both the powdered Parmesan cheese like you sprinkle on your pizza, and then some freshly grated Parmesan cheese that you get at the deli. And I gotta tell you, even though I've invested so much into this dish between the potatoes and the herbs and the cream, I don't want to use the actual real Parmesan. I found it doesn't give it as nice of a finish on top. There is something about this powdered Parmesan cheese, and you can get a blend if you like. It creates such a beautiful crust on the top. It is so good. Your guests are going to be clamoring to get the very top of the crust of this Parmesan cheese powder, and then their different colored potatoes and the cream. Promise you, there will be no leftovers. So I'm going to finish putting this on top. I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Once I'm ready to pop this in, we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Check your potatoes, see when they're forked done. And when they're ready to come out, take them out, set them on the counter, and let them sit and cool for 15 minutes at least, because that's going to allow that cream to thicken up. Oh, these are going to be so delicious, I promise you. Okay, let's get this in the oven. No need to cover it, just put it in the oven just the way it is. Okay, our herbed potatoes are out of the oven, and you know what I did is I went ahead, let me move this over a little bit. There we go. I went ahead and I made 3 little ramekins of the herbed creamed potatoes because I want 1 for lunch. Whoops, dropped my hot pad. And then I've got 2 for dinner tonight. Back up my camera a little bit. I got the one here that we've got for Papa Jim's work. He'll be taking this one to work tomorrow. I'm gonna let it cool a little bit more, and then I'll put the lid on it, and then we'll pop it in the fridge, and he'll have that ready for tomorrow. This is my lunch right here, so I want to taste it. It's been a full year since I've had these, maybe even 2, because of everything we've gone through over the last couple of years here with everybody kind of keeping to themselves. but that cream has set up. Oh my gosh, potatoes are beautiful. Beautiful herb potatoes. Let's see. I want to show you. Look at these beautiful potatoes. Look at the Parmesan crust on top. Look at the herb-infused cream that's covering the potatoes. These have soaked into the potatoes. They're so flavorful and delicious. And that crust from that Parmesan cheese is delectable. Oh, this is so delicious. I'm telling you, once you make these for Thanksgiving or Christmas, you're going to get asked to make them every single year. Yum. So we have 2 for dinner. Papa Jim's taking this one to work, and then I've got another one in the oven that's getting all ready for Thanksgiving. And that's it for today. So thank you so much for joining me here on the farm while we made these delicious potatoes that you can have for holidays or any time of the year. I'm so glad you joined me. Until I see you again, take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a great holiday season, and we'll see you next time here on the farm. Bye-bye.